Hello, hello. Testing, testing. It's been a while. Gotta make sure my audio levels are good. I think they're good. Seems good. Yeah. Alrighty. Alright, if anything's off, just let me know. But it seems good. Howdy, y'all. It's been a long time since I did a stream, and I keep lagging on trying to work on this painting that I've been doing. So I'm gonna stream it a bit so that there is no excuse. Probably just stream for an hour or so tonight, but should be fun. Hello, M. Mihawk. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear. Good stuff. Alright, I'm gonna pull the screen up now. Get rid of my bumper here. Ba-ba, there we go. So I've been working on this for a while. Way too long, actually. Got real busy. Didn't have time. Then started working on other stuff. Now I'm getting back to it. Trying to finish it up. I just have to render these two characters and touch a lot of stuff up. But yeah, mainly I'm just going to be rendering Johnny today. If you've played CyberPunk 2077, you know who he is, I'm sure. And yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and I'll try to talk and be engaging. I'm normally not, so we'll see how that goes. But I'll do my best. And we got music going, which is FF7 chill hop, and then if it goes long enough it'll turn into Zelda chill hop. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm excited to be as far along with this as I am, but I've been working on it for way too long. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is the new layer I'm working on. I think I'm gonna jump in and start detailing some of his stuff here. I need to pull up my reference, but I also need to see the chat. Quite a problem. Let's see. I'll just cover OBS and hope that everything works okay. There we go. Cool. Have you played CyberPunk, M. Mihawk? If you're still here, let me know. I love that game. I played it a little bit recently. Sure. Actually, that might not be the best place to go. Let me touch up some of this here. And Mihawk says, yeah, I have. It's been a while. Need to try out Phantom Liberty. Phantom Liberty is great. It's one of the best DLCs I've ever played, for sure. It's really solid. Great story, great music. Characters are super cool. This poster's actually all about Phantom Liberty. That's why it's all Phantom Liberty characters. I actually wanted to make it because I liked the DLC so much. So. And the recent, well, not recent, but I guess it was a while ago now, the update that they did was super good. They totally revamped, I don't know how long ago you last played it, but they totally revamped the progression system, and it's much better, in my opinion. It's very good. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've got a lot of games in my backlog too. I've got stuff I haven't even started. I've heard really great things about Marvel Rivals from lots of people. I would really like to play that. I'm not really into hero shooters, but that one looks really good. It looks really fun. So I'll have to try it at some point. Okay, let's see what we got here. I was working on a comic recently, so I'm all confused about my brushes. What was I doing here? That's right, and then I had those crazy pencils, and then I had the watercolor one, right? That is more like a pencil. This one. Yeah, okay. So it's been so long since I worked on this, I'm sort of like not even sure what to do. I mean, I definitely need... Actually, you know what? I'm going to jump in and start touching up his hair, because I haven't really done much with that yet. We'll just go from there. Just pick something. Yeah, a lot of people are getting into Marvel Rivals. Seems really good. Take a darker tone and just start filling in this shape here. Actually, I should probably use this brush for this because it's a big chunky spot. And I'm trying something new, which is a great thing to do when you haven't streamed in a long time, is try new technology or a new setup. I'm actually streaming this, working on this on my Samsung tablet, and I found a program that lets me stream from that tablet with a USB connected to my... Basically, it puts the screen on my desktop computer so that I can just stream that screen. So I don't know if the quality is great. You'll have to let me know. It might not be quite sharp, but maybe it is. It looks okay on OBS, so it might be alright. But yeah, it took me a minute to set it up, and by a minute I mean like an hour and a half. So that was fun. Worth it though, because now I'll know how to do it right away next time I jump on. And I really like working on this little tablet. I've gotten used to it, so I want to keep working on it until I someday get a new Cintiq. Probably not anytime super soon. But I will get one eventually. I'm working still as far as on my desktop setup. I've still got my old Cintiq from freaking... I think I got it in like 2014. It's an old 13 HD, the little 13-inch HD Cintiqs. They're super old now. At the time I was super hyped to get it though. And it served me well. I'm surprised it lasted this long. It should have died, probably, from what I read about them. The cord got a little messed up though. That's the only thing that went kind of sideways with it. But I just duct taped it with some splints, and it seems to hold. So hopefully it keeps up that way. And right now I'm just blocking in these big shapes, and then I'll move into like more detail stuff here. Or maybe, probably the smarter thing to do, it's been a while since I painted, is just blocking the big shapes everywhere first. That would be the smart thing. I should have done that right away when I started painting him. I don't want to get too dark in that little corner, but the shape is starting to look pretty good. Okay. Now the face definitely needs more contrast. I'm trying to see how to pull that off without making it too dark. But in my little mock-up, I actually do have it pretty dark and it works pretty good. So maybe that's the way to go. Let's just push it a little darker than I was expecting, probably. Let's see. Because yeah, he's also got the beard going on. It's sort of patchy beard. It's not that patchy, but a little patchy. So like, yeah, that'll be tricky. fact, let's start with those sunglasses, because that's going to be a much darker part, I think. Yeah, much darker. And that'll give us some contrast right off the bat. I might have to redraw those a little bit as I paint, because I think it's a little too... Oh no, actually it's fine, it's because it's curving, so that makes sense. But I just gotta get the values in there. And I want to push him to be warmer, but I don't want to throw off the blue light that he's in, so maybe that won't work. We'll see. But yeah, let's just go. Get some shapes in there for starters. Make that a little smaller. To start, it's getting a little contrast. Going a layer under that so that I can edit that if I choose later. Now I'm going to switch back to that pencil. Yeah, let me go with the one in here, because it's a little more fine than the watercolor one. That one has cooler texture, but when you're getting into the weeds here, kind of makes sense to get a little bit sharper lines, because we're going for like some texture, like creating our own texture as opposed to relying on the brush texture. And yeah, this gets way darker, or it should. Let me check. Let me see my little mock-up. Yeah, that would sort of. Get some of that mustache in too. Possible. A little high there. Even just with that little bit more contrast, it's actually looking a lot better already. Long way to go though. And the shape of his lips are a little off too, so I'll just throw this in for starters, and then I'm gonna cut it back into it. I really like this FF7 lo-fi music. It's pretty good. Can't wait for the part 3 of the remake. I don't know how long that's gonna take. It's definitely gonna be a while. But man, 2 is so good. It really blew me away. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. Much better than the first part too, in some way, or at least more expansive. I'm not saying the first part was bad, I really liked it too, but... And they didn't change the story too much. They're just hinting at like potential new outcomes and things, basically. They don't beat you over the head with the Kingdom Hearts-y stuff. But it would still probably be better without it, I think, but it's fine. Still gotta play Rebirth. I loved Remake, Mihawk says. Yeah, Remake was super fun. I've gone back and played through it again multiple times. Probably like 3 times, maybe 3.5 times. Played Rebirth like, I think the same, like 3 times. He's got this one part that goes up higher here. Kind of sticks out. It's sort of a defining characteristic of like his facial hair. Get it a little darker as it goes under here. Getting somewhere. Let's break this up so it doesn't look quite so clean. And it goes pretty low too, down on his neck. Very unkempt guy, Johnny. Mihawk, did you find this channel from the Mega Man X FPS stuff? Or are you just wandering upon us now? It's been so long I sort of forgot people. Apologize if I don't remember. I've still got that on the back burner, working on bits and pieces of it slowly. I started getting some enemy AI going, and oh, and I built the actual block-in for the first level, at least the first pass of it. So now I have designed the level to some extent, as opposed to the sort of test area that I had been recording previously. Everything in. So it's not no progress. It's just not a lot of progress. And I haven't really done any videos for updates. I did put up a short, I think, of like shooting an enemy that was moving. It was the wheel guy, the spiky wheel. Just been super busy. Haven't even had time to work on this. That's not entirely true. I've been working on other stuff. Been working on a little stupid joke comic and just working on my drawing chops a bit. One of those phases where I'm trying to get better at drawing. I'm practicing a lot, but not really posting new stuff very much, and not working on big projects like this that I should be finishing. But it happens. Yeah, you were following the Mega Man X stuff, okay. Mega Man X is like my favorite game of all time, but I watch your art streams from time to time. Oh, very cool. I'm glad you like both things. Yeah, I'm never sure if, cause I'm new to YouTube, the Mega Man X thing that I did was the only thing I've ever had that blew up at all. That video got a lot of views, and I don't know what the best way to go about it is. Like, should I make this channel just for the Mega Man X stuff and do a separate channel for art, or does it work to put them together? But if there's enough people like you who like both things, maybe that'll work out. Maybe even post some video game streams every once in a while. I've done a couple of those back some time ago. But not a lot though. I don't have that much time to play games anymore. But every once in a while. feel like I gotta keep current if I want to make games. I gotta play a little bit. That's my excuse. That's why I definitely want to play Marvel Rivals. Give that a shot. That looks fun too. That's not bad. That's more painless than I thought it would be. Working on his beard. It's a little too much there. It's kind of starting to look like him. Let's see, he's got light shining through the glasses, so I guess if I was going to make an area darker, it would be more back here, where the sort of eyebrows curling under, and then let it be lighter towards, more towards the glasses. Probably pull it under a little bit. And I have to redefine those rims. He's got really thin rims on his glasses though, so you can't see much of them. But I will sharpen it for sure. And add a highlight, because it looks like he's got that going on in the reference. MHawk says, I mean, it's all art. But yeah, I have no idea the best route when it comes to YouTube. Yeah, I'm not sure, because I know different creators do different channels a lot of the times for different projects, and then some people don't. Some people just do everything kind of in one place, or some people start off that way and then they make a different channel. Meat Canyon has like, I don't know, like a bunch of different channels now for different things he does, and he's a really big popular YouTube guy, so it's probably, he probably knows what he's doing. That might be the way to go. As far as like pleasing, you know, the YouTube algorithm and like the way that people like to watch stuff. Yeah, games are definitely art though, that is very true. I think so. I can't imagine how at this point people would not think that, unless you just don't play games, you just don't know what they are. You still think games are like Pac-Man, which I've been playing a lot of, because I have this little Pac-Man machine on my desk. So anytime I feel like procrastinating, I just play my little Pac-Man thing. And then I get nothing done. It's super cool. I'm getting good at that. I've never played Pac-Man so much in my life since I've gotten that little, it's like a little mini Pac-Man cabinet. It's pretty cool. The joystick is a little hard to use though, 'cause it's small and it kind of gets stuck sometimes. It's not perfect. Works pretty well though. Can't blame all of my skill issues on that. I can blame some of them. It's totally valid to do that. I guess you could say even games like that are art to some extent, but I mean, they're just not as sophisticated. Like, games now are like, you know, obviously a lot more complicated. A lot more goes into them. Oh, I see, I have this shape here, that's why it's not lining up the way I want it to. Yeah, and let's make that a really hot highlight just so it pulls it out a little bit more. Even if it doesn't totally make sense. I'll just help. Yeah, that looks a lot better actually. Yeah, the streaming and channel stuff, I mean, that's just something you gotta learn by doing and like by getting info from people who already make stuff, I guess. And that's sort of an art in and of itself, trying to figure all that stuff out. It's like a full-time marketing job, trying to market your own channel and stuff. Definitely worthwhile if it works out though. And even if it doesn't, you learn a lot. So it's still cool. It's always good to learn new skills. I keep going between these two different references. I should pull this one over so I can look at it at the same time. Do that real quick. That will be helpful. There we go, much better. Okie dokie. Oops. What happened there? I meant to grab that color. Let's pull this up a bit. Hate being all zoomed in like this. Can't be super fun to look at, but gotta see what I'm doing there a little bit for a second. I also really want to play whatchamacallit, that Elden Ring multiplayer game when it comes out, Night Rain. That looks really interesting. It's definitely different as far as FromSoft goes. Looks promising though. Could be really fun. I mean, one thing FromSoft doesn't do is make bad games, so at least I think they don't. I know it's not for everybody, those games, but I think they're super fun. Elden Ring's absolutely amazing. That game made me feel like I was a kid again. Like playing some crazy thing that I didn't even know could exist. It's so big, it's like the first time you go under the map and you go under that well and stuff. It's so mind-blowing. I was like, how big is this freaking game? It's gonna take me forever to play this. Totally worth it. Probably spent like a week of my life in that game. I gotta find my drawing tablet. It's been a while since I've drawn anything. I miss the relaxation from it. Yeah, drawing can be pretty zen. I think painting is even more zen, because once you learn how to render, you don't have to think too much while you're doing it if you have like things kind of planned out a little bit ahead of time. You just kind of zone out and just make sure your shapes and your edges and everything are looking good. Balance it out, contrast and stuff. I find that painting is very zen when things are going right. I find drawing comics to be a little less zen, so I gotta think a lot more, but at least like when you're doing the drawing and but then if you're like cleaning up lines or inking or something, that's pretty zen too. But when you're like thinking about the pose and you're trying to draw it correctly and all that stuff, it's definitely takes some doing, some brain thinking. dip here, but the colors got kind of muddy. Let me try to grab, make a little more saturated, yeah, something like that. With this whole poster, part of the reason, other than my procrastination, that it took so long, or is taking so long, is because I was trying out this new way of doing digital painting that I hadn't really done before, where I treat it a lot more like a traditional painting, and just really, I'm almost treating it like I'm blocking in a painting and then drawing with colored pencils over it. So if you zoom in, you can kind of see, like, I've got like lines here that really look like I'm just using a colored pencil on top of a painting. Same thing with all this. And it creates a cool, much more traditional looking effect than some of the other stuff that I've done. But man, it takes a long time. I should do kind of a hybrid version of this where sort of the best of both worlds. It doesn't take quite as long. I'll figure that out over time. Excuse me. But yeah, for this first endeavor with that, it's definitely putting me through my paces. I gotta turn the drawing up a little bit because I don't know what's going on with this hand. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what I did there. Okay. So that's the butt of the cigarette coming in there. That's why you don't see the rest of the finger. Very textured indeed. And at at great cost of my time and my health. That took quite a while. It's definitely a balance though. It doesn't have to take this long. I'm just a knucklehead and I'm not doing it quite right. But oh, that's right, I have all this rim light on a different layer. So okay, I'll have to go above that too. I mean, it's basically what I want, so I don't care about drawing on top of it really. I just need to refine it so that it reads right. So I'm just gonna jump in and do it. I'm not gonna be scared of that. I don't have time. I've spent too long on this as it is. Yeah, I definitely need to have the drawing a little more visible though for this part. Is this one? Yeah, there we go. And I can just go back and forth. I'm super big on non-destructive editing, so anytime I'm gonna go over stuff, I just make a new layer so that I can always undo it and get rid of the layer if it doesn't work out. And then I'll collapse stuff as I go. But this is pretty blocked in, so I'm not too worried about it anyway. Is this the Turks theme, I think? It's gotta be. Sounds like them. And then, let's see here. Yeah, so that area we'll just make really dark for now, so that I can differentiate the inside of his hand there. It'll probably be pretty much that dark anyway, but right now I'll make it especially dark so I can see what I'm doing. Get these shapes right. Oh, and now the line drawing's in the way. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, it's not gonna be that dark, but for now I'll leave it. That's too dark, it looks weird. I gotta get these shapes. I'm really curious about, like, if Rebirth, or in the next one, it really seems like they're setting it up so that Aerith will be able to potentially survive. I'm really wondering how they're going to do that, if they do that, and if that's going to work, and if it's not going to feel cheap. Because so far, the way they've been explaining it, sorry for anyone who is getting spoiled by this, but it's been out for a while. You know, with like the Zack stuff and everything, they sort of make it so that there's still stakes at least, because they're alive kind of, but like in a different world. But you pull that holy materia of Aerith's through to the other world. So I think what they're doing is setting it up so that in theory you could potentially pull people through too, right? Maybe. And if you do that, maybe Zack could live, or Aerith could live, or Jesse could live. Maybe people can come back after all is said and done, but that's the question. Would that feel cheap from a storytelling perspective? Maybe. Probably. Because that sort of eliminates the stakes, but at the same time, the original story already exists, and everybody knows what it is. So, I mean, if they did something like that, I guess it wouldn't be too bad, and it would be nice for Aerith to be able to survive for sure. Or come back, because I guess she does sort of die, at least in the universe that you're in. Cloud can see her. That's all weird too, how like Cloud can still see her and he's all tripping out. I figured they'll probably patch that together when Cloud, you know, goes nuts at the part where he's supposed to go nuts. I mean different. He's kind of already gone nuts in the sort of modified story, but like, you know what I mean? Like when he goes really crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, but so far they've really nailed it. I feel like they haven't done anything that changed it too egregiously for me anyway. So I'm digging it. I want to see what they're gonna do. I think they're doing a great job with it. And they're really boasting about like the next one's gonna have even more mini games and it's gonna be even bigger. I know some people were kind of sick of all the extra stuff, but for me, I thought it was cool because, you know, a lot of it's optional. You can do it if you want to, or on a second playthrough. A lot of stuff I didn't do till the second playthrough. But it's cool to have all that stuff in there. And the original had a lot of stuff like that too, so I mean, you know, that was sort of a selling point back in the day. It's not like they're just pulling that out of the ether. That's definitely a part of the FF7 experience. They did amp it up though, for sure. But yeah, they said it's going to be bigger, crazier. You're going to be able to control the airship fully instead of just like, you know, on rails, kind of like it was. So that'll all be really cool to see. It's starting to read, sort of. The edges aren't quite right in some of these spots. Like this. Soft. A little more soft and kind of rolls over because it's rounder there. It's not looking bad though. It's coming along. Trusting the process. All that good nonsense. I remember when I was in school, one of my instructors, I cannot remember who, But one of them said every painting looks bad until it doesn't. Like, there's no painting that starts off looking good. If it started looking good, there wouldn't be any reason to finish the painting. So it's kind of like an obvious thing, but it is something to think about to get you over that hump when stuff isn't quite coming together yet. Keep you motivated, keep you going, having faith in what you're doing. It's really important. Because if you just like think, oh man, this is looking shitty, and then you give up, you'll never finish anything. That's great advice, actually. Yeah, I always thought it was. It's one of those things that's like obvious, but when you hear it, it sort of like clicks, and you're like, oh yeah, that's very true. Like, of course it looks bad, you haven't painted it yet. So chill out, start painting, get it where it needs to go. Makes a lot of sense. And this ridge, it's catching that top plane of the thumb, but I have it rotated a little more, so maybe it would come out a little more like this. And then soften here. Get kind of sharp here. It's probably too sharp. Because it is kind of more rotated than I initially planned it to be, so it'll probably be a little softer. You could even make this softer too, to still leave that contrast there of the form. Cool. And try not to get too caught up in that. The arm is kind of working, but it's not quite, something about it's just not quite reading right yet. I don't know if it should be darker. I'm not positive. Mihawk says I need to head out. Keep it up and I'll try to catch you the next time you stream. No worries, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. I'm going to try to stream a lot more regularly. I'm really going to hold myself to doing that, so I'd like to build this channel. I'd like to interact with you fine people more. And all that good stuff, so I'm going to force myself to make time. So yeah, I'll see you. Have a good one, man. Let's just tackle some of this stuff that's kind of in limbo that needs to get done, or at least blocked in. That's way too dark for that, actually, because that's gonna get a lot of bounce light off that shoulder, so it probably won't be that dark. Maybe not even that dark. At least not all the way over here. Really soften it up a bit. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move down now. Let's start working on the pants here. Because it's definitely not reading right yet. It's this really shiny brown leather. And I've just got it kind of sort of the base light blocked in now, and some of the texture. There's a lot more color variance though in the reference, so maybe I'll work some of that in before I get into the shiny bits. Maybe even with like an overlay kind of jam. Just works some different variation of these gray tones in. Let's get some purple, a little more blue. It seems like it does get warmer in the light though, so we'll keep that kind of in the dark and the mid-tone areas. I don't want it to be confused for light though. Get a little green. I don't think, well, yeah, that kind of works. It's got kind of like, it almost looks like he's got like oil on his pants or something. Or like it's burnt, like with a lighter, like in butane or something. It's looking decent. Might tone it down just a touch. And you gotta think about getting some of those wrinkles and other texture details in there. Let's turn up that line work a little bit for a sec. I didn't really draw that much of that in, so I'll have to kind of invent it as I go. It's not there as much as it should be, probably. Sorry, I know it's boring when I'm all zoomed in. There's nothing to look at, but I'm trying to work on these details here. Just gotta render these two characters and then touch things up, and it'll be done finally. Let's see. Yeah, so let's grab some of that lighter area and we'll just pull that through. This is a different layer, right? Yep, okay, good. Some of these spots where maybe that would be going on. Let's move over to this part of the reference too. Kind of matches the angle a little more. Yeah, so he's got lots of little creases that are kind of wrapping the form more than what I've drawn in the line work. So I definitely should kind of pull some of that through, kind of build some of that in there. Let's grab some of that darker value. Not quite that dark. I'm just blocking it in for now. I'm not going to be too careful about it yet, because I'll cut back into it later anyway. But it's starting to read a little better. Getting some of that in there. Yeah, it's starting to look like it's got some actual texture to it. Oops. It's frozen. Come on, zoom in, you can do it. There we go. I haven't saved in a while. Oh no. Nah, that's gonna keep popping up. hate it when it does that. That's the only downside of this tablet. Not enough memory. Not quite. So sometimes it just starts tweaking out like this. I might have to hide my screen for a sec and restart Clip Studio so that it stops doing that, because that is annoying every like 30 seconds. And let's see, there'll probably be another ridge that's coming in dark there. Yeah, I gotta real quick save this and restart Clip. Hang on, my voice will still be here, but I'm gonna put up my BRB thing real quick. Restart Clip Studio, because it is acting up. Acting a fool is what it's doing. Two seconds, we'll be back to painting. Just restarting Clip Studio. I'm painting from my tablet, so I mean my little like mobile tablet, not my graphics tablet, but like my little Samsung tablet. So sometimes it acts up a bit when the memory can't keep up. Alright, we're back. Go away, BRB screen, we're back. Alright, hopefully that doesn't happen again. And it happens again right as soon as I start. That one's okay, but the other one is obnoxious. Whoa, chat. Okay, there we go. Oh, I had the lighter tone, that's why it wasn't working. It's still not working. Why is that not? Oh, it's on lofi for some reason. Oh no, I forgot what tool I was using. Weird. How strange. Always something strange going on with Clip Studio. I love Clip Studio, but there's always something strange going on. It does weird stuff. At least on the tablet. I guess on the desktop it doesn't really do it as much. It's pretty solid on the desktop, but the mobile one, it's probably just really my tablet because it doesn't have enough memory. It's not really Clip. I shouldn't blame Clip. Clip's quite solid program. I love Clip Studio. I am going to cancel my Adobe subscription as soon as I get the chance because I barely use it anymore. Clip is much better. Between Clip and Krita, they do almost everything that I want. The only thing is where Adobe gets you with the photoshopping, because it just has better tools for editing photos and even adjusting your contrast and color. It's just still better. It's the tough thing, so I'll keep it for now, but I can't cancel it anyway because of their stupid policy. I have to wait until my, what is it, till the date cycles around basically to cancel it. It's so obnoxious. Horrible thing to do to people. Adobe, hope you're listening, hope you're watching me. Grill you about the error of your ways. Bad Adobe. They're definitely watching. I'm a big streamer. Can't you see all these views? Big streamer. I've got like 15 views on this stream. Can't ignore me, Adobe, with this kind of reach. It's not like everyone else on Twitter has already called you out for the same thing. It's just me. I'm telling you like it is. That kind of worked, but I want to not completely destroy that texture there. That's not bad. It's coming along. I wonder if you can hear the rain on my mic. Can you pick that up? It's actually raining here for once. California. It's kinda nice. Pitter patter and such. I can hear it. I like it. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I'm enjoying it. My mic's probably not picking that up because I have a noise gate set up and all that good stuff, so probably not. If you want the painting by rainy window experience, just pull up a separate tab in your YouTube and pull up a rainy noise. You'll get the exact same experience that I'm getting right now. Problem solved. Alright, this is probably a little, what's the word? Premature, but I'm gonna try to get some of this highlight in because I think it'll really start pulling stuff together. I should probably wait till later, but I think it'll help me kind of get to where I'm going in terms of sort of molding stuff around that. And yeah, let me get the general gist first, where it's kind of hitting the most here. And then I'll come in with the little pencil thing and sort of pull it together. Nope, not that pencil. That's right. Oops, I forgot what I was doing, so now I set all my presets back to default. Not default, but like whatever I was using yesterday when I was working on a comic page. That's starting to look like leather pants, if I do say so myself. Not perfect yet. It will never be perfect, but we're getting somewhere. After all this time procrastinating, not working on this, it's finally making some progress. That shape's looking alright, and then let's pull it. That last part probably didn't quite read right, because it should be a lot more subtle down there. I'll soften it as it goes lower anyway, because it's too much right now. But this particular ridge here is pretty deep, so oh, that's on the highlight layer. I should have done that on the under layer. That's okay. I'm so glad it's reading the undo taps again, because till I reset it tablet tonight, it was not reading the undo taps, and it usually reads them really well. The double tap for undo, it's kind of doing it again nicely. I guess I just had it on for too long or something without restarting, because it was fucking up. Am I allowed to swear? I think YouTube's weird about that. It's only in like the first few seconds, maybe you can't, something like that. I've heard other streamers say stuff like that. It's probably true. Should be good. Yeah, but definitely it's too dark for, I mean, too light for being that far from the light source. It should be a little more subtle down here. It's too subtle. Oh, look at all this wonderful undos. It is working much better now. It's very nice. Let's soften this one a little bit too while we're at it. As it moves up, it'll get more, intense, but not down there. It's got to fade off a little, I think. Maybe not, maybe too much, because it is a highlight, so it is catching that reflection, so probably be some parts where it's still kind of sharp and bright. But that is starting to look like leather pants. It's getting there. It's much better. Especially at a distance, which is the only way you're going to see it anyway, if you're looking at the stupid thing. You can look at it for like 10 seconds, you're going to be like, yep, those are leather pants. This is a good drawing. Nicely done. 10,000 views overnight for leather pants. Maybe that made it too smooth there. It's not good. It's still gonna be kind of sharp because it's a reflection. Yep. And a little bit more contained as well. Probably more like that. And a little bit more moving with the form. Because right now it's sort of going opposite of the form. At least that edge there. Something more like that. Yeah, it's a little better. Alright, not bad. And I think this will be catching it. That highlight as well. This big ridge here. Make that a little brighter. Yeah, it's looking better. Okay. Alright, let's turn down that line layer again so we can see what the painting's actually doing. Okay, so we did lose something there. Yeah, a lot of that detail will have to be, contrast will be turned up a little bit on those seams and things for that to still read without the line. But it's getting there. And then if I turn this off, okay, so I did kind of outline those parts of the vest a bit, at least those big panels. And here's the overlayer. So yeah, let's just start working in here, because this part of that rim light will be easy to pull through. I'm not worried about that. But I gotta get these details correct. So he's gonna have little chunks. I'm gonna move back to my bigger brush for this. It's gonna have chunks of this that are sort of pushing in a little. That might be too dark for what I'm going for here. It's okay. That's about right. Okay, so some of those parts will have that, and then I'll cut back in just to give it a little more realism, interest, whatever you want to call it. Some of these parts will be pushing under more. Probably get away with doing it a little more intense right there, because that should, the way that shadow's cutting. And then we'll give it a ridge there that's getting the light. Okay. It's coming along. I sound like broken record. That's all I say. Getting there. Going. Making progress. But it's true. That's the whole thing. That's all that this is. And he's gonna, like, there's some stitching down here where it pulls in. Oops, not quite that much. Something like that. It's not bad. And it actually just wraps the bottom part of and the top part of these. So it'll just be kind of like that. Isn't that getting lighter? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, it's definitely starting to look more like some cloth covered panels. Some of this is a little too dark, but I can always soften it up pretty easily. I may have broken that shape too much though. And later on, to get really crazy with the detail, I'll add in the little like splatters and things that are on it, and that'll add quite a bit to it, I think, if done strategically. And this part's begging to be in shadow as well, a little more. Not quite that much. Yeah, that's starting to look better. I say for the 1000th time. Someday it'll just be better looking, and then I'll stop saying it. I promise. Yeah, that's starting to come through nicely. Let's get another little ridge part in there. Check that out. It's starting to look like I know what I'm doing. Pretty cool. I'm fooling you. Not bad. Okay, I was kind of worried about making that texture, but it is starting to look pretty good. And let's pull some of that in up here too. Try and make it a cool shape. Doing that sort of ridge over ridge pattern thing. This part just feels like it's poking into that shape too much though. It's a little better. It's because this under part is just like a straight line. It looks weird. Just connect it with that shape. That's probably better. And then we'll do the same thing above with the light shape. Yeah, that looks nicer. Let's soften it up towards the rim lighting here. I have to find some new music to listen to during stream, because I like this music a lot, but I've listened to this music on stream so much that even though I haven't streamed in a long time, I'm still tired of it. I just overdid it. It's still good. It's still good. I still love this GameChops. Keep doing your thing. But I gotta find some more stuff that is copyright safe, of course, so that my stream doesn't get taken down. That is not bad. That's starting to look cool. Leather's coming through. The texture's starting to get there. Worked on his face a bit. Glasses, all that stuff. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna call that a stream. Just zoom in on something cool here to end it on. That's already done. Alrighty. So, that's that. Everyone who tuned in, even just briefly, thank you for tuning in. I know you're not here anymore, but someone will hear this, perhaps, if they watch the replay. And I'm gonna try to do these more regularly. I'm saying this both to let you know and to put pressure on myself. And I might be able to do it. I mean, it'd be great if I could do an hour every day, more or less, streaming. And now that I know how to set everything up, that should be doable. So an hour's not too much. I will try to start off with like maybe 3 days a week and work my way up to every day. I'll promise 3 days a week. This week is over. This is the first day I'm streaming and it's Thursday. So maybe not this week, but I'll at least do one more stream this week. Maybe I will do 3, who knows? I might have the gumption. And next week I'll definitely do at least 3, and maybe more, we'll see. And hopefully we'll get more people tuning in, and more than that even, I'll finally get this stupid painting done. And that'll be super good to do, because I've been working on it for way too long, as I've already said like a dozen times. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Smash that subscribe button.